If you love spike factories, then this is the video for you. Today we're going to be looking to complete a CHIMPS game starting from round 9 using just spike factories. Obviously, we can't afford a super mines in CHIMPS. Actually, you could, but it's just it's not very feasible. Let's just say that much. So but yeah, let's just start this journey with a spike factory. Just think about it now, the start is going to be quite difficult considering the fact that, well, we've only got so many piles in which we can actually put down onto the field, and there's so much RBE on the field that we may actually end up failing a round or two, or here or there, or anything along those lines. I could put down a sub to start on round 6, but then go into Spike Factory, but nah. Let's hold out until we get bigger stacks so we can deploy more spikes per pile rather than producing more piles per time. And that should be good. Faster production, ready for round 15. We do have to be wary of round 28, but I do want to place down another spike factory at some point. Just so that we can get the production going even more of these piles in the field, which by default can pop camo balloons. Second spike factory down. Gonna take this one up to white hot spikes, and we don't have to worry about round 28 and onwards. Actually, I may just go even faster production because we've got the money for white hot spikes by round 28 at this given point in time, and I just love a red balloon to produce these lots of piles of spikes that will obviously disappear at the end of a round. Round 24, camo balloon, no problem. White hot spikes online. Third spike factory. This one at the very back here is going to be the Perma-Spike. This one right here is going to be the carpet spikes, and this one's going to be the spiked mines. Lead balloons, no problem whatsoever. As long as one of them is a white hot spikes, then we've got nothing to worry about. But still, all of them are going to have the means of popping lead balloons, so that DTs are a non-issue. Very plentiful this round. Glad we are on resort so that we can pop some. They're going to come back around mid game, get popped again, and then very end also get popped. I'm going to put you on smart. I do want some backlog at the end of the map here, just so that in case if they do get too far, then we've got that bit of insurance policy from a previous round set of spikes. For the time being, bigger stacks is the only thing in which we need. Otherwise, if lead balloons make it to the very end of the track here, then we definitely do have some problems going on here. Well, there are a lot of balloons here. That's just going to be a bit of a problem. Don't go too much to the end of the track, please. I do want spiked balls at some point, but I don't know. Maybe we need another spike factory which can produce a lot of spikes here. If that spike part at the very end of the map is all gone, then we're pretty much done for, honestly. Because in a game of CHIMPS, if you restart the round, then all of your accumulative spike piles that you produce from your bottom pile spike factory don't reset, so therefore they are essentially lost forever. Your progression is gone forever. Oh no, thank you. No, you will die. That is a lot of balloons, but give our bottom pile spike factory a lot of time to produce a lot of piles, and then it should be able to give them all down. Spiked balls are going to be very, very important here. Bonus damage to ceramics and fortifies. Although I've been able to take more hits as well before each pile disappears, which is pretty good. Regrows. Gonna be a little bit of an issue if we don't pop all of the layers fully, because then they'll just multiply. Just like that. No thanks. Round 40. Should be pretty easy. Spiked balls doing the majority of the damage there. I do want to go to Mob Shredder, but I'm thinking about Deadly Spikes next, just so that we can pop an additional layer, and they last for another round as well. Still, don't need to go up to white hot spikes just yet with them, just because, well, you're pretty much screwed if layers make it to the end of a track anyways. And with that, we do have Deadly Spikes now. Let's go to Mob Shredder, and then once we get a Mob Shredder, Spiked mines, definitely. I would call this video the axis of Lego, but not even super mines can match the destructive force that a Lego brick can provide. But making their way to the end of the track here, which is a little bit concerning. Don't want too many of these layers gone, although as you just saw there, they do eventually disappear if enough time expires or if enough rounds have depleted, so just something to keep in mind there. Yes, you do want to stockpile, but just be wary that it's not an indefinite amount. There's definitely a finite amount of spikes you can have from one spike factory. Spike storm, actually. This is going to be pretty good. Especially if they make it all the way down here. We do have some coverage for our deadly spikes here. Yeah, just lay out the spike storm here just to clear up a little bit of a mess that has happened throughout round 49. You're definitely going to need it at a few points. Oh my god, no, I think I should have activated it. Oh no, all these rainbows, regrows. Guess I'll be starting from the beginning. Here we go, spiked mines up and operational. Hopefully now, round 49 is not going to be an absolute bane in the butt when it comes to all of those regrow balloons. Hopefully, yeah, they're taking many more balloons before they expire, then also explode, because they're now mines rather than just spike piles. Although these are explosive pineapples. Never, ever, ever question the resolve of a pineapple in this game. Because if you take one bite, you will die from it. Second Moab, goodbye. Camo ceramics, the camo part serves no issue here. These can by default pop camo balloons. Okay, spike storm. Now we can get that without the worry of the masses overwhelming us, because we've got the horde dealer with the spiked mines. But as long as there's not too many of them, that is. Everything has a pierce cap at the end of the day. Let's just get white hot spikes now on our deadly spikes so we don't have to forget about it later. Well, not have to, so that we just don't forget about it later. Don't want a Perma-Spike being fully operational, then for some odd reason a DET just sneaks through. Although that wouldn't happen with the carpet or spikes here. Yeah, these two are our last upgrades. I honestly think Perma-Spike probably has more long-term value to get first. Just because we can get those almost permanent spikes up and running. Round 60, let's just speed up a round by using our spike storm ability there, and they all go down. Could have done that by default, but I don't want to wait for the BFB to trot along through, for goodness sakes. Now, do we need the spike storm for round 63 just in case of a horde of balloons suddenly sneak their way through down here? I don't think so. The explosive is are very good against the ceramics, especially when they're all clumped up together. Fortified Moab is not going to be much of an issue because we deal bonus damage against them anyways. Yeah, ceramics just went down very easily there, with a few remnants of their insides to lift the tail temporarily. And then there goes the rest of those. Good. I like it. I like these spike factories. Almost up to the Perma-Spike with 10k left to acquire. There was a time where CHIMPS did not grant you any end of round cash bonus, so CHIMPS back in the day used to be much more difficult. Now imagine CHIMPS, but the balloons do not give you money at all when you pop them. So essentially, CHIMPS deflation, the ultimate difficulty matter at hand here. But people will still say that it is simply too easy, even though you've only got 650 to go through an entire CHIMPS scenario. An elitist will say that that is too easy. We should be able to get the Perma-Spikes on this round, looking at our maths going on here, and there we go, which means now they do fire them at a much slower rate, but each spike par now churned out from the Perma-Spike is just that much more deadly and have a lot more pierce. Only thing left now to get is carpet of spikes, and then we are ready to deal with the rest of the threats in this run. starting with you, BFBs. Go away. I really love the fact that the top half of the Spike Factory just makes light work of ceramics. That's really nice to see. Like, even when we get to Super Ceramics, these Spike Factories are going to handle them quite well. Round 75 is a little more tricky just because of the amount of RB that there is accumulated altogether there. The two backmost groups of BFBs are no joke, really. Round 76, what can we do? All of that. All of that. Didn't even need a spike storm. The burn damage left from these spike mines ensured that we can get through the rest of that scenario on round 76. You may make it to the very end of the track, but the end of the track is not your salvation. That is where you meet the final boss, the Perma-Spikes. And yeah, goodbye ceramics. So yeah, we have had an oopsie on round 49 in our first attempt here, but no worries, we managed to claw it back by having a different build order to our spike factories here, by having the spiked mines being produced first before even the more shreds actually. But we do have a regrow issue over here, and let us just try to remove as much of this threat as possible. My goodness sakes, look at the amount of them going that way. Don't run out there, Perma-Spikes, I'm begging ya. I need you to last as long as possible. My goodness sakes, how many did you swallow up? The answer is yes. I swallowed up a lot of balloons right there, all of which have had the hearts on them. Not that they had a heart to begin with, if you get what I mean. Round 80 ZMG. They have a spike storm just so that we start damaging it. It's not going to destroy it, but it will start the process. Sometimes the start of the process is better than trying to go through the entire process too quickly, otherwise you may not be able to make it to see tomorrow. I hate it when you got that ticklish feeling in your throat and you can't stop coughing at periodic times. Like, the tickle just creeps up on you and you have to cough. Like, no matter what you can do, you just have to cough. That's kind of happening right now, so do apologize if you do hear any coughing from me, but I'll do my best to edit that out. Don't you worry, I am an editor as well as a creator. You're not seeing any of the spike mines just because anytime they are laid out they do get swallowed up. Our saving grace at the moment is the Perma-Spike at the very back of the map here. If I invest in copper spikes, I think we would just be completely run out of steam, honestly. It's not like no pun intended there, steam application. Don't fail on me now, okay? Spike factory ability there. I don't think we're going to be able to do this without using a spike storm before getting copper spikes, honestly, but I'm pretty sure someone out there can prove me wrong. Although, speaking of copper spikes, we are so close. We're probably perhaps in an update or two ago where the copper spikes was cheaper and better, because Ninja Kiwi keeps deciding to nerf a tower if they're not happy about the nerfs that they've given it. I can't wait to see what nerfs they give it in update 44. Regardless if you have white hot spikes added or not, the Carpenter Spike's passive ability cannot pop leads, or frozen for that matter. All it does is provide some bonus damage, and that's it. That bonus damage is to yellow balloons. Yeah, having passive spike storm ability up and running is really helpful when it comes to dealing with the Moa players before they get over here. Well, it's not really passive if it's part of its arsenal. Regularly sets a carpet of spikes over the whole track. Obviously, I restricted that just because you just can't reasonably afford it, okay? 135,000 is a lot of money to put into one tower in a game of chimps, okay? Round 90 DDTs, just absolutely no problem. This is a DDT killer right here. As long as you have white hot spikes or an MIB with it if you don't have white hot spikes. In a 2 Mega Pop scenario, it makes sense to not have white hot spikes, but just settle with the the bigger stacks, or if you prefer to have a longer amount of time in which the spikes on the field than smart spikes, but I just prefer bigger stacks for more consistency, for goodness sakes. But I'm pretty sure on some expert level chimps maps, I'm sure that the bottom cross path is better than the top cross path for your copper spikes, just so that every time you do lay out a spike storm ability or a passive spike storm ability, or path stack, sorry, again, then it's better to have it so that it's always on the side of a track in which the balloons will spawn on, rather than just everywhere. Round 93, DDTs, no problem. Oh my god, a huge amount of ZMGs. I would say that round 94 is the first round I'm like, oh crap, that is a lot of balloons to deal with here. And it's also going to be our first round where we're going to really rely on our Perma-Spike here to clear up a mess in which everything else cannot handle. Ceramics being a big issue if there are no spike mines on the field, or if there are no Perma-Spikes at the back of a map. Here we go, round 95. Speaking of the devil, no issues whatsoever. They get to the spiked mines, and if a couple of spikes manages to passively lay out his attack, then nope. No, thank you. Your existence has been denied. I'm sorry, Balloons, I do not make the rules up. I just abide by what you people want. And that is the destruction of balloons. The destruction of each and every one of them is at hand here, while we are just still here going through these adventures of this axis of whatever. I decided to do this one today just simply because I could, okay? Don't question it. Yeah, Perma-Spike's definitely been relied on, but not too relied on to the point where all those Perma-Spikes just look like they are starting to disappear. Although I think around 98 the visuals will start to become apparent, but let's use our Spike Storm only on round 98, because a couple of spikes will be able to deal with the ZMGs no problem, and then spiked mines with all of the super fortified ceramics. I hate them with all of my being, all of my heart, just because they like to tear through my defenses, okay? Sometimes the Moabs are not the issue, but the ceramics inside them are the issue. Their total numbers, the increased amount of PS required to hit each and every single target. Sometimes it's not your HP that matters, but it's the amount of them that there are on the field when it comes to the numerical number of balloons themselves. They can sometimes be your end game. Not the amount of RB that there is per balloon, but the amount of RB that there is in total and how it's distributed. Okay, round 98 going, well, question mark? Question mark? All these fortified balloons making their ends meet here. Like, I heard a rumor that sometimes if a balloon goes too fast, then a Perma-Spike won't be able to actually pop it. I'm not sure if that's true or not. I hope it's not, because I don't want to start this entire scenario again just because of that one glitch slash bug slash feature. If that's how Ninja Kiwi intended the game, who knows what our overlords have conjured up throughout their studios for update 44. Fortified DDTs, not a problem there. Go down, thank you. And the bad, not an issue whatsoever because of carpet of spikes. Just look at the layers being shredded. Not a chance. If a bad can't stand up against me, then the rest of you cannot. So, yeah, we got a huge amount of more damage there, and I think that is solely down to round 79. I'm not going to lie. That is definitely round 79 accumulated another 12,000 more damage. Even though I thought Ninja Kiwi patched that out. Also, our pop count is higher than... Anyways... So yeah, there we go, folks. That just shows what you can do with 3 spike factories on the field day. Yes, it's on possibly the easiest map of these 3 towers. But guess what, okay? I'm showing you how it's done on a map, rather than seeing, like, what is the most difficult map you could do this on, whilst it's still being possible. Thank you all so much for watching, everybody. Let me know what other kind of scenarios you'd like to see me do in the future. And hope you will have a lovely day where you are, whatever it is that you are doing. If you are trying to do Elite Lich on shoots, good luck, because of the fact that chained mobs like to spawn at the very end of the track there, just because of the proximity of that chained Moab where the Lich is. Very fun. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and take care of yourselves.